Okay, there are 4 different types of chemical reactions. The first one is called a synthesis or combination reaction. That is where you are bringing together usually a couple different things and you're making one product. It looks something like this. So if I give you sodium and I combine it with chlorine and I make sodium chloride, I've made one product, and this is an example of a synthesis or combination reaction, which can be abbreviated with a capital S or a capital C. If I reverse this reaction, I get something called a decomposition reaction, which can be abbreviated with a capital D. So this is when you have one reactant and it is breaking down into its components. The example that I've given you in the chapter handout is water is my one single reactant, and it's breaking down into hydrogen and oxygen gas. A single replacement reaction, also known as a single displacement reaction, can be abbreviated with capital S, capital R, or capital S, capital D. This is where you're going to have an element combining with a compound, and you produce a different compound and another element by itself. The single element does not have to be listed first on the reactant side. The compound could have been listed first. So let me give you an example. And this is something that you would need to be familiar with. So if I list the compound first and the element second, totally acceptable. Okay, this is an example of a single replacement reaction. The last type of reaction is a double replacement reaction, also known as a double displacement reaction. And this is when you have 2 compounds combining to produce 2 different compounds. Okay? If you're looking at student exercise number 3A, it's giving you the following. Sodium oxide combines with water to produce 2 sodium hydroxides. Okay, so you are producing one product. This is an example of a synthesis or combination reaction. For B, I've got 2 compounds combining to produce 2 different compounds. This is an example of a double replacement or double displacement reaction. C, you've got a single element aluminum combining with a compound to produce a different compound and another element by itself. This is an example of a single replacement or single displacement reaction. The last one looks like this. You have one reactant. It's breaking down into water and oxygen. This is an example of a decomposition reaction. Now, on the worksheet that corresponds to this lesson, the first 4 give you complete reactions where you're predicting the type of chemical reaction that it is. The last 4 have the products missing. You have to predict, based upon the reactants given, and you should be able to do this, what type of chemical reaction it is. You do not have to predict what the products would be. That is another lesson.